This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Frightened, shocked, and confused. These are feelings being described tonight for people living in China amid the coronavirus outbreak. Thanks for joining us here at 11 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. It's insight we are getting for the very first time tonight as we sit down with an Indianapolis man who just returned home from China 3 days ago. He describes what life has been like and why he's hopeful to return back to China once the virus stops spreading.
I really wasn't sure what to do either, so I just felt perhaps just the best thing to do is to leave.
Just 3 days after returning home from China, Indianapolis native Nolan Shay is sitting down with RTV6. He's giving us insight on what life has been like since the coronavirus outbreak in China.
So it just kind of started from, well, that's terrible, but I don't think it'll hit me, to, well, this thing is getting kind of serious, to, okay, now I need to start being more careful about where I'm eating. I definitely need to listen to the advice that we're being given by local police and government.
Shay lives in a city close to Hong Kong, which he says is about 800 miles from Wuhan, the epicenter of the new coronavirus outbreak. Before leaving, he was forced to work from home for weeks, teaching English to local students.
They're having to live stream lessons into the students' homes because they're not allowed to return to their school.
After weeks of living this way, only leaving his home when he needed to, Shay decided to make the decision to return back to the U.S., where worried family members were waiting.
As I could see, it was limiting a lot of my own movement, the ability to live about life as normal, that I would have to come back, for my own safety and also to give my family a reassurance that I would be okay as long as I'm here.
He left China's mainland on February 3rd, spent 14 days in quarantine in Taiwan, and he's been home just days. But he's already thinking about when he can go back and return to the life he's created.
I guess it's the same sort of thing that took me there in the first place. I guess the sense of adventure. And I really do feel confident this is something that will be passed over in the very near future.
He says the people still living in China's mainland are complying with orders from the government and law enforcement and staying inside their homes for weeks. Because of that, he is hopeful the virus will not continue to spread.
It's important that as this ends, we should be able to see that we can live our life as normal.
Shay also tells us he has made several good friends in China, and he also has a kitten named Coco that he wants to return home to. Right now, a good friend is taking care of Coco until he returns home. The CDC has confirmed over 30 cases of coronavirus in the U.S., and they say we should be prepared for this to become a pandemic. CDC officials say while the virus isn't spreading throughout the U.S. right now, it's very possible, even likely, that it may eventually happen. They say the goal continues to be slowing the introduction of the virus into the United States. The total number of infected worldwide stands at over 76,600, and at least 2,200 people have died, all but 11 in mainland China. Now let's get a check of your StormTeam 6 forecast with meteorologist Kyle Mounts.
Yeah, wrapping up what was a beautiful Saturday afternoon. We almost made it to that 50-degree mark in Indianapolis right now. Not too bad, sitting in the middle 30s. So we've only dropped about 15 degrees, still sitting at 33 in Bloomington. And I think the south breeze is going to be key. It's still close to 15 miles per hour in Kokomo. That's going to keep those temperatures from really tanking during the overnight because our skies are still pretty clear here across central Indiana. Now we look back to the southwest, we do start to see some of that cloud cover that's going to be creeping our way. High pressure gradually sliding off to the south and east, but I think again tomorrow is going to be a dry day. And look at what else is off to the west. Temperatures that are even a little bit warmer tonight, still sitting in the 40s. So we're going to pull some of that into central Indiana and enjoy for the second half of the weekend. Even into tomorrow morning, we're going to notice those temperatures not as cold. Instead of starting off around 20 degrees, we'll be in the lower 30s with some of that sunshine. We're already back into the 40s at 11 a.m. We'll take you through your Sunday afternoon in just a few minutes.
Kyle, thank you. This traffic alert new at 11 o'clock. The East Side Interstate ramp damaged Thursday when a tanker truck crashed and exploded. Will close tomorrow morning for repairs. INDOT says the bridge from Interstate 465 southbound to Interstate 70 eastbound is structurally sound, but they wanted to wait for low traffic hours to patch that area that was burned in the fire. The bridge will close at 9:30 tomorrow morning. To Nevada in the race to see who will take on President Trump in November. ABC News projecting Senator Bernie Sanders will win the Silver State. Early results have him with a sizable lead, followed by Vice President Biden, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, and Senator Elizabeth Warren. For more now, here's ABC's Alex Prescia from Las Vegas.
Bernie Sanders is moving on to Texas, encouraged by a big boost in the Nevada caucuses.
In Nevada, we have just put together a multi-generational, multi-racial coalition, which is going to not only win in Nevada, it's going to sweep this country.
Sanders is receiving strong support from Latino and young voters.
That he is a consensus candidate. It's not just a loyal base. It's other Democrats who are increasingly confident that he could be a candidate to beat Donald Trump.
For other candidates, results only heightening the importance of the upcoming South Carolina primary.
That is the choice in front of us. We can prioritize either ideological purity or inclusive victory. We can either call people names online or we can call them into our movement.
We have a great team down there. As usual, I think we have exceeded expectations.
The other story, voter turnout. 75,000 early voters. 84% of Nevada Democrats made their minds up early. 40% of those in favor of Bernie Sanders. Vice President Joe Biden is hoping to build momentum and close the gap with Sanders after disappointing finishes in Iowa and New Hampshire.
Now we're going on to South Carolina and win, and then we're going to take this back.
As for the Republicans, President Trump is expected to receive all 25 delegates from the state. The Republican Party here canceling its caucus and deciding to bind all its delegates to him. Alex Prescia, ABC News, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Alex, thank you. College-bound students can get help with their financial aid during College Goals Sunday at several locations throughout Indiana. Tomorrow is your opportunity to get help filling out the free application for federal student aid. College Goals Sunday is a program that started in Indiana and has spread across the country. It aims to help thousands of Hoosiers file their FAFSA and secure funding to achieve their college dreams. The FAFSA is required for most grants, scholarships, and student loans. Parents need to make sure to bring their completed 2018 IRS 1040 tax returns, W-2 forms, and other 2018 income and benefits information. If your student worked last year, they should also bring their own income information. The events will be held at several locations throughout the state, including 5 locations in Indianapolis. We do have a story up right now on the RTV6 News app with what you need to know before tomorrow. New tonight, a glittering event with food, drinks, and a living legend. Superstar Diana Ross dazzled the crowd tonight at Giving Gave 2020, hosted by Community Health Network. The evening of giving started with more than 1,000 donors enjoying drinks and hors d'oeuvres while bidding on more than 100 premium silent auction packages. The event raises money for cancer patients in financial need.
This is the highlight of our year, and this is where we get a group of people together to help other people fight that battle. We have patients that are fighting cancer. And what we find out is that while they're fighting cancer, life goes on. And the next thing you know, we learned several years ago, they can't make their car payment. They don't have gas. They don't have transportation. They can't buy groceries. Somebody's turning off their utilities. And when you hear that, you say, you got to do something about it.
All proceeds will benefit Community's Oncology Patient Assistance Fund. Happening now in Carmel, a black tie event honoring San Francisco 49er defensive tackle Sheldon Day. The mayor's office has proclaimed today Sheldon Day. The purpose of this charitable black tie event is to raise money and awareness for two worthwhile charitable causes: Helping Hands for Freedom, which provides assistance for military veterans, and Sheldon's Daylight Camp, which empowers and motivates Central Indiana's youth.
All the proceeds go to each one of the charities. You help so many people in different type of ways. It's a blessing to kind of be mixed in this crowd because there's so many giving and wonderful people here tonight. I love Indy with all my heart. You know, I give back as much as I can. Just being around these people and seeing how genuine this place is for everybody is definitely successful, and it makes you appreciate the little things.
Tonight's event included a plated dinner, a private VIP cocktail reception for dignitaries, and a silent auction. Dozens of people spent their Saturday going under the needle for a good cause in Jackson County. It's an effort to turn donated canned goods into a lasting memory. RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you to explain how the unique event will help families in need.
All right. Beauty from Ashes Tattoo Parlor closing its doors to paying customers today to accept a different type of currency.
I have a little over 150 with us today.
That's right, this ink can only be bought with canned goods.
I've been thinking about doing it for a long time, and then heard about the canned food drive. So I said, why not? You know, it's for a good cause.
It's a big day for Andrew Wilson. He's getting his first tattoo.
There's no other way I'd rather spend my Saturday, so here we are, you know, sun's out.
He found out about the Food for Tattoos event being put on by Eye Care Ministry in Seymour through Facebook. His load of food is so heavy, he's using a laundry basket to carry it. This line started forming around 7:30 this morning and will continue to grow until around 11:30 tonight.
Bringing their 50 canned goods to get a tattoo, yeah, it's kind of work to get the tattoo, but then again, you are feeding other people.
Fearon Dyer runs the Eye Care Food Pantry with his wife, Raven. The pantry decided to team up with the parlor back in 2018.
They had actually called me and asked me if they could put a box like in front of our counter to basically just take donations if people came in to get a tattoo. And I thought about it, and I was like, you know, I don't know how many people are going to just stop by the grocery store to pick up cans, you know. So I thought, I don't know how effective that'd be. What if we just did tattoos for a whole day?
From there, an epic idea was born. The first Food for Tattoos event brought in 18,000 canned goods, and this year could top that. Working for you in Jackson County, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Troy, thank you. The food pantry has been operating for 25 years and got its start in the Dyer family home. A warning tonight, the new viral video craze that's supposed to be funny could end up doing serious harm. Meet a 13-year-old girl who learned that lesson the hard way. Could your school be making your child sick? It's an issue prompting legal action from a teachers union that says many school buildings don't make the grade when it comes to safety.
Today, only at Allegiant.com.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Now to the disturbing prank leaving some children with severe injuries. The School Breaker Challenge gaining popularity on the popular app TikTok. Here's what happens. Two people fool an unsuspecting third into jumping into the air and kicking their feet right out from under them. The challenge aptly named the School Breaker. 13-year-old Kathleen DeJesus, a target of the challenge, was rushed from her Massachusetts middle school to the hospital, where she spent 2 days for a severe concussion.
I was screaming that I needed an ambulance. I was thinking like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my life for this game. I should have never done it.
The potential long-lasting injuries now has medical professionals posting their own videos warning people, especially young ones. School Breaker is not the first challenge on TikTok to cause harm. The Outlet or Penny Challenge has sparked damage and even fires. The popular social media app says user safety is a top priority, and they do not allow content that encourages or replicates dangerous challenges that might lead to injury. America's average school building is 44 years old, according to the newest data. Alicia Nieves found out decay is causing major safety concerns.
One of the hidden dangers in schools across America may be the schools itself. Around the country, students and teachers are reporting failing infrastructure is affecting their health.
One of our teachers, a 26-year veteran, was diagnosed with mesothelioma.
Jerry Jordan is the president of the Philadelphia Federation of Teachers. It's a union suing the school district over the failure to maintain school buildings and failure to protect teachers and students from potentially cancer-causing asbestos. The district was informed of potentially dangerous conditions at several schools last year. Conditions like disturbed asbestos, growing mold, and rodent infestation.
It's a responsibility to educate children and to educate them in a safe and healthy environment. That has been ignored over and over again. When the budget season comes about in June, it's just ignored and pushed on the back burner another year.
My concern, I am. Have I had some testing done? Yes, I have.
Jennifer Ballard is an elementary school teacher at T.M. Pearson, Philadelphia. Late last year, students and teachers were moved out of the school building because of the discovery of asbestos in the building's basement.
That was the gym, and the kids would walk past that area all the time.
Ballard believes she, other teachers, and even students had illnesses that were caused by conditions at the school because since they relocated, there has been a noticeable difference.
One of the teachers even told me, like, I'm not coughing as much anymore. She goes, I didn't even realize that I had a cough until after we left.
T.M. Pierce is just one of about 50,000 K-12 public schools in America that have asbestos or mold or worse issues. It's estimated about $200 billion is needed to get these schools up to what's known as a good rating.
But this is another situation where in our country we have those who are least able to defend themselves are now being put against a threat that they can't even really fight because they can't see it, and it may not show up until years later.
The Philadelphia School District says the health and safety of students and staff remain top priorities, that it's spending $12 million to remediate asbestos issues in city schools, and is looking for substantially more long-term funding to make further needed repairs and improvements. A teacher like Ms. Ballard is hoping for that funding to come through.
Who's going to take care of us when we are sick? Where are our nurses and doctors and lawyers and things going to come from if you got kids that are even scared to go to school to even just learn the basics?
I'm Alicia Nieves.
Alicia, thank you. The Food and Drug Administration has approved a new cholesterol-lowering medication. Nexletol is a once-daily tablet. It's an alternative for millions of patients that can't take or don't respond well to statins. Drug maker Esperion says it's the first oral non-statin drug approved in nearly 2 decades. During studies, the drug reduced cholesterol in patients by an average of 18% when used with moderate or high-intensity statins. The new drug could become available as early as late March. Your driver's license may soon not be enough to get you through the security checkpoints at U.S. airports. The Department of Homeland Security says 2/3 of state driver's licenses are not compliant with a post-9/11 security law. The Real ID compliant identification law goes into effect October 1st. To get the Real ID, applicants must provide documentation showing their full legal name, their date of birth, their social security number, 2 proofs of address to their local driver's license agency. If you don't have the Real ID, TSA officials will not clear you to fly. Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast, taking a live look outside on this Saturday night. Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts joining me now. And Kyle, we are wrapping up a pretty nice Saturday.
Yeah, looking good in the city tonight. And the good news is we're going to kind of build on that as we go into our Sunday. Temperature is going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow afternoon. Right now, we've settled back to the middle 30s, 34 degrees right now. We talked about that south breeze. I think that will keep temperatures only falling another 4 to 5 degrees or so. But with that breeze, it does add a little chill to the air. So it feels like we're in the middle 20s, just something to keep in mind if you're going to be heading out late tonight and early tomorrow morning. Now, temperatures generally still sitting in the 30s. A cold spot right now is Richmond. You can see this cooler pocket with temperatures in the lower 30s, even already down to 30 degrees in Bedford. But we got 35 in Greencastle. So we're starting to get that influence of slightly warmer air off to the west. But by tomorrow morning, temperatures will be in the upper 20s. Marion coming in at 28 degrees, 29 in Anderson. We'll find a few more lower 30s on the map around Martinsville at 32 to start off your Sunday. Meanwhile, 29 in Newcastle and upper 20s to lower lower 30s around Bloomington, Spencer, and into Seymour tomorrow morning at 28. So we start off the day, temperatures around 30 degrees, and we are going to have some sunshine out there. Gradually building in the clouds here as we go through the afternoon, but with some sunshine and that breeze, look at temperatures. They warm fairly quickly here. We're already into the 40s at 11 a.m. and we'll see those numbers getting right around 50 for that afternoon high, and certainly above average for this time of year. 52 for you in Bloomington tomorrow afternoon, 51 in Indianapolis, and even around Peru, Muncie, and Hartford City, you'll get into the upper 40s as we keep that southwest breeze. So tomorrow is a nice and dry day for us once again for any of your Sunday errands. Look at what happens, though, on Monday. Those rain chances ramp up, and they do so pretty quickly. We'll already have some showers for the morning rush hour. You can see here's TrueCast at 6 o'clock Monday morning, especially Indianapolis, I-70 areas to the south. That's where we'll have that rain starting first. And then it will continue to expand here. Maybe a little bit of dry time early afternoon, but there we start to see more of that widespread rainfall Monday night, and it will linger into the first part of our Tuesday before that system starts to lift off to the north. But it will be rain, and we're looking at another soaker of about a ½ inch to some areas could see about 3/4 of an inch of not really needed rainfall. So tonight we'll keep it dry. 30 will be the temperature. 7-day planning forecast, those temperatures not too bad right on through Tuesday. Highs in the 40s. Then we get a rain-snow mix in here on Wednesday, and that brings in the colder air once again. May have some lows in the teens heading into next weekend and highs in the middle 30s.
So the good news, if you didn't get outside today, you still have some nice weather.
You get another chance tomorrow.
All right,
yeah.
Kyle, thank you. Well, from goodwill to glamour, find out how a mom turned frustration into earnings when the news at 11 continues.
#1 furniture and mattress store, Ashley Home Store.
We all love to save money wherever we can. One mom says she was tired of spending hundreds of dollars on her kids' clothes, so she decided to take matters into her own hands, and now she's not only saving, but she's earning too. Here's Amy Taylor.
I love chambray and denim. I love it. I'm gonna take this one. I sell handmade, repurposed, or vintage children's clothing and accessories.
Mom of 2, Jenny Carlson turns goodwill into glamour.
And primarily, I do children's clothing, and I use materials of any kind to do that.
From men's dress shirts,
oh, I love this,
to women's blouses, patterned pants, curtains, and tablecloths.
Kids' clothing is so expensive, and they grow out of it so quickly, or they stain it in a second, and then you've spent $30 on a shirt, and now it's ruined.
She makes shopping trips to Goodwill, looking for donated items to reuse as fabric.
There's so much clothing that gets put in the landfill every year.
Those unique patterns and colors will get turned into a new and unique children's outfit.
Thank you so much. I have been sewing since I was 8 years old. My grandmother sewed a lot. My mother sewed.
Mix matching fabric from the Goodwill finds to make dresses, vests, bows, and bonnets.
This is a bandana bib pattern.
At first, Jenny made clothes for her children to save money. But over time, her hobby morphed into a real business called Sweet Basil Avenue.
I actually have a map in here of all the places I've shipped to,
where she sells on Etsy to customers all over the world.
They range from anywhere between like $15 to $30.
All depending on size and how much fabric she used.
It was actually 2 men's shirts, the green and the plaid. And so they made a dress and a vest and this bow.
Not all of us are as crafty like Jenny, but she says it's not about sewing or making money. It's about doing something that makes you happy.
Everyone needs that hobby of some kind that fills you with joy.
Just call Summers.
A big announcement today from Kings Island. After months of construction, the new Orion roller coaster completed its first test run earlier today. Park officials released videos showing the ride climbing the trains, climbing the lift, and plummeting down the 300-foot first drop. Orion will make its public debut on April 11th when Kings Island opens for the 2020 season. It will become only one of 7 giga coasters in the world. Riders will sit 4 across on a 32-passenger train. The ride will zip over 8 hills and more than 5,000 feet of track at speeds up to 91 miles per hour on the tallest and fastest roller coaster at Kings Island.
I'm excited about that one.
I am too. I haven't been to Kings Island in years.
And that's obviously not video from today's test run.
I was confused.
Still putting that track on there. All right, tomorrow we've got some nice weather, more sunshine, even though the clouds will build in as we head through the afternoon. We'll see those numbers getting into the 50s and rain returns to the area on Monday.
All right, have a good night. Thanks for joining us.